Manuel Arturo Odría Amoretti was the president of Peru from 1948 to 1956, essentially ruling as a military dictator. Manuel Odría was born in 1896 in Tarma, a city in the central Andes just east of Lima. He graduated first in his class from the Chorillos Military Academy in 1915. He joined the army and as a lieutenant colonel was a war hero in the 1941 Ecuadorian-Peruvian War. He soon achieved the rank of Major General. In 1945, José Bustamante had attained the presidency with the help of the American Popular Revolutionary Alliance. Soon, major disagreements arose between Victor Huhsunqu, the founder of APRA, and President Bustamante. The president disbanded his Aprista cabinet and replaced it with a mostly military one. Odría, a fierce opponent of APRA, was appointed Minister of Government and Police. In 1948, Odría and other right-wing elements urged Bustamante to ban APRA. When the president refused, Odría resigned his post. On October 27, 1948, he led a successful military coup against the government and took over as president. After 2 years, he resigned and had one of his colleagues, Zenon Noriega, take office as a puppet president so he could run for president as a civilian. He was duly elected a month later as the only candidate. Odría came down hard on APRA, momentarily pleasing the oligarchy and all others on the right. Like Juan Perón, he followed a populist course that won him great favor with the poor and lower classes. A thriving economy allowed him to indulge in expensive but crowd-pleasing social policies. At the same time, however, civil rights in the nation were severely restricted and corruption was rampant throughout his regime. People feared that his dictatorship would run indefinitely. They were surprised when Odría legalized opposition parties in 1956 and called fresh elections. He did not run for office. He was succeeded by former President Manuel A. When national elections were held again in 1962, Odría ran as a right-wing candidate for the Union National Odrista Party. None of the three major candidates, Odría, Huhsunqu, and Fernando Belaunde, received the required one-third of the vote to win with a plurality. It appeared that Odría would win the presidency in Congress after having made a deal with Huhsunqu, but a military coup removed President Prado from office a few days before his term ended. Elections were held again in 1963, with the same three major candidates. This time Belaunde won with 39% of the vote. During the Belaunde administration, Odría made an alliance with Huhsunqu to create a single opposition bloc in parliament, which became known as the APRA Uno coalition. As a political force, they managed to create strong parliamentary opposition to President Belaunde, who was forced to make important concessions to the coalition in order to get most of his party-sponsored legislation enacted. The coalition suffered a setback after losing the elections for mayor in the capital, Lima. After the military coup that overthrew Belaunde in 1968, Odría kept a low profile in Peruvian politics until his death in 1974. Descendants currently active in Peruvian politics.